It's on screen here. Let me just remove the bottom thing so we can obviously read it. So it says, I met a real life Twitter wrestling fan today at the airport. He said, I'm a big fan of you. I said, sick, man, thanks. Then he said, well, actually, I'm just a fan of Paige, not Saraya. I was like, 4 a.m. insult, love that for me. He said, I just don't like AEW. I said, do you watch it? He said, never have. So I said, well, how do you know if you like it or not? He said, I don't know. Can I take a picture? This kind of really irritates me because if there's one thing I've really actively really winds me up these past couple of months is the fan base. I'm not saying every single fan there, but there's a core of fans out there who just sort of really, they always look at the negative and it really winds me up. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, so you don't like AEW. That's completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to approach a wrestler from AEW who used to be WWE, don't diss her current work.
No, I mean, if anything, I like her current work. I feel like.
Well, no, they're done with the fan. Like,
Yeah.
be nice, be kind. Just say, oh, I love you. You're one of my favorites. Can I get a picture? You don't need to say the other part. Keep that in your head.
Do you think it's like a lack of respect in a way? I've always said that.
I think wrestling fans are entitled.
Mm-hmm.
So entitled. I think that, you get Twitter and all these different things, and you can say whatever the hell you want without any consequences.
Yep.
So what's stopping them from doing that in public now? I would say it on Twitter, so why not say it in your face, dude?
And that's the one thing that really pisses me off so much is when an incident happens, whether it's wrestling, real life, or anything in general, when you go on Twitter, the amount of comments are so. It aggravates me so much, when you see some of the comments on certain things. It's never good. I'm going to be straight up. It's never good. And I'm just thinking, why? Do you know what I mean? I'm literally questioning what the hell are you doing?
And that just kind of brings us to this other thing is Taya Valkyrie. She took a lot of abuse from fans after her match against Britt Baker on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. I did not actually know much about this.
Yeah, like people are saying she looks like a man and just all this horrible, horrible stuff. Now, I get it. Like, she's not as good as she once was.
But then again, you could make that argument about any wrestler.
Yeah, and we were talking on the show that she's lost something. She might have taken too many on her bump card, and she might have Byron was saying that she doesn't get up as well as she used to.
Okay, it's not something I've actually sat and thought about, but
yeah. So she just might have used up her bump card, and she's still trying to wrestle. But yeah, for people to say just horrible things about someone, it's one thing to say a wrestler's clunky, another one to say mean, hurtful insults.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I'm fortunate. Obviously, I've met Taya obviously in person, and she's absolutely terrific. Do you know what I mean? I feel like she's straight down to earth.
That's right. You're a Taya Valkyrie fan.
Exactly. I mean, I'm a huge Taya Valkyrie fan. Do you know what I mean? Obviously the one PW shows. Obviously, I was fortunate to meet her. I've just mentioned there, and I mean, the interaction I had with her was absolutely terrific. Do you know what I mean? She was really polite. Obviously, I'm really tall, so it's kind of weird. But no, I don't get why.
So while we're on this, what do you think of her performance in AEW? Do you think that she's not as good as she once was?
I don't think she's not as good as she was. I think it's the place she's in. Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, she's been in Impact, which they've not got that big exposure, if you know what I mean. They're not obviously on the big TV type thing. So I do feel like it's partly that it is a bigger TV. Do you like a bigger stage? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Do you think she's freezing under the bigger stage? Is that what you're saying?
I don't say she's freezing. I just feel like, I mean, everybody's saying, the women's division is probably not the best in there, but I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. I don't think there's definitely something missing when it's in an AEW, but
you probably saw that Frost match, Frost versus Valkyrie. Mm-hmm. It was bad.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible.
Yeah. So, why did they have such a bad match?
I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean? It's only two people obviously know that, is obviously Frost and TRSL.
Yeah.
But for people to obviously, be very critical and stuff like that, it's give your heads a wobble, man. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think that you should mind your manners, and if you can't, if you wouldn't say that to her face, so why would you say that over? It's not nice.
Exactly. I mean, the one thing I've always been brought up with is, even though obviously we watch them on TV, we're big fans and stuff like that, they're still human beings. They've still got lives, they've still got feelings, they've still got heart. Do you know what I mean? All I'm going to say is, obviously, and we'll obviously end on this thing, is just think, do you know what I mean? Don't go on Twitter, just like decide to insult wrestler after wrestler, because it's just ridiculous, man.
And that's why we built effing wrestling the way we did. It's to be